been waiting for. The next name that I will announce will be your new Miss Earth USA, who will be representing the USA at the international competition this fall. If, for any reason, our Miss Earth USA cannot fulfill her duties, Miss Earth USA Air will take her place. Are you ready? Me too. Your new Miss Earth USA 2021, Maine! Means your first runner-up, Miss Earth USA Air, is California. Just wanna feel this moment. I just wanna feel this moment. Congratulations to Alyssa Clinton, our Miss Earth USA Air, and the new Miss Earth USA 2021, Marissa Butler.
Christina Aguilera. Oh, yeah, mamita. Dale, que es la cosa bonita. Feel this moment.
Congratulations, Marissa. You will take your first walk as Miss Earth USA 2021. Congratulations to our new court and our new Miss Earth USA. At this
So my name is Kimberly Keene. I'm 27 years old. I have a bachelor's degree from UCLA in political science, and I just graduated from the University of San Diego Law School. So I have a Juris Doctorate degree as well, and I'm currently waiting on my bar exam results in California to be a lawyer, and I'm getting into family law. That's where I work now. And then I'm also Miss Alaska Earth USA 2021, and this is my second ever pageant, so I'm super excited.
It's your second pageant. What is your first pageant?
The first one I ever did was Miss California USA, which just happened, just finished in September.
This year is a special year for Miss USA because we have a new director, Crystal, and the contest opens the door to the transgender woman. Miss Nevada USA of this year is a transgender woman. What do you think about this open mind at Miss USA pageant?
Yeah, I think it was probably inevitable, right? I mean, that's kind of generally where the culture is now. I think it's interesting because I think pageants still have a long way to go in terms of accepting different ethnicities, body types, different styles, even girls with tattoos and piercings. I rarely see that in pageants. So I would love to see more of that. But I think that starting with accepting trans girls is great, because I do think that there is, there's still a little bit outdated in the sense of beauty standards with pageants. And I understand that, because that's the history, that is still generally the standard in our culture. So it makes sense that they would promote a certain look. But I would like to see more variation, because I really truly believe that you can see beauty in so many different body types, heights, skin colors, ethnicities. I mean, I don't know anyone who just sees, you know, one or two girls that are 5'10", you know, and skinny and whatever as beautiful. I think we all see there's a wide spectrum of beauty. And so, but I think that accepting, her name's Catalina, I think, right? Cataluna or Catalina?
Yes.
Yeah,
Carolina.
I think accepting that, and then she's obviously extremely gorgeous, and having her there represented that way is a good start, I think.
And after Miss USA system, why did you decide to join Miss Earth system?
Yeah, it's a good question. I joined Miss Earth system specifically because I was looking for a pageant system that focused on the work that you do. So not just going to the pageant and, you know, doing your best walk and looking beautiful. I love that, obviously. That's why I'm in a pageant. But a big part of my life for a long time has been nonprofit work and humanitarian causes, as well as environmental causes. So I think I literally searched on Google pageants that, you know, pageant with a cause or something like that. And I saw that Miss Earth and Miss Earth USA, really, really, that's a huge part of the competition. You know, it isn't just, okay, you know, you check the box, you know, you did some charity work here. No, I mean, every day almost, I'm working on my Think Global, Act Local project. I'm volunteering for other nonprofits in the area. And I absolutely love it because it feels so empowering. And I feel like, you know, pageants have this big stage where, you know, in this big platform. And I rarely see the girls, you know, they'll say they have, I mean, I don't want to like talk badly about other pageant systems, but you know, it's rare that you see girls who are really going out there and doing the work. And I really see that in all of the girls in the Miss Earth and the Miss Earth USA system. They really put in the work, and I admire that a lot.
I understand your answer because a lot of people, some people think pageant is only a parade of body. It's not the reality. You take Miss World, the motto of Miss World is beauty with a purpose, and all candidates, all delegates must have a project called Beauty with a Purpose. It's a humanitarian project. It's very important. If you have not project, you can win the code. You can win the code of Miss World. And Miss Earth, the motto of Miss Earth is beauty with a cause. Yes, it's the reality. You must have a project. Have you a project to protect the planet?
Yes. So my project for Miss Earth USA is called Oceana Project. I have an Instagram for it too. Oceana, so Greek word. So what I'm doing with this project is I am helping relief efforts and volunteer efforts for the Huntington Beach oil spill. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was this past October, there was a big oil spill in Huntington Beach, California. I'm a native Southern Californian, so this spoke to me. Thankfully, there haven't been so many oil spills in recent years, but this one was pretty big. So what I'm doing with Oceana Project is I'm actually holding a 5K this coming Saturday. So in 7 days, I'm holding a 5K here, and we're raising funds to go to the Pacific Marine Mammal Center, which is a wildlife rescue center in Laguna Beach that's helping the front line with helping the animals covered in oil and wildlife with oil residue. And then I'm also just involved with educating and involved with town halls with legislation that discuss legislation about banning offshore oil drilling. So
you have a similar project of Marisa Butler, Miss Earth United States 2021, because she have a project with ocean, clean beach and ocean.
Right, yeah, so Marissa's is the We Clean Trails organization, and I actually volunteer with We Clean Trails with Marissa almost every week. So yeah, because she lives in San Diego, so it's a cool coincidence. So yeah, I actually help out with We Clean Trails a lot. I love it. I love what she does with We Clean Trails, and it's always really fun to meet everybody that is involved with that. Yeah, so I have a lot of respect for her project and what she does too. So for Miss Earth USA, I think the most challenging thing now is actually getting people to come out and volunteer with you for any cause that you're putting on. So thankfully, things have opened up a little bit more, so it's not as closed off as it was previously. But I do think that a lot of people are used to the virtual setting or working from home settings. And so it's a little bit difficult to get people and to actually go out and recruit volunteers, because there's not a whole lot of people, even at work at my building, there's not a whole lot of people that show up because they're working from home. So I think that's probably the most difficult part. I also think training is a little difficult because there's actually a lot of stores and coaching that aren't open yet, and people are just used to working from home, so that's a little bit difficult. But I do think that there are some advantages to it. You're able to, I think because you're limited, it enables you to think outside the box a little, to be more creative and come up with different solutions. And actually it pushes me to work harder because it's a little more challenging. So I have to think, okay, I can't just rely on this Instagram post or this Facebook post. I actually have to go out and sell what I'm doing to these people. And there might not be a whole lot of people there. So you really have to make sure that the message is coming across well.
You use a lot social media to promote your platform, to promote your journey at Miss Earth United States?
I do. I use mostly Instagram because I'm challenged with Facebook. I didn't have a Facebook until about 2 months ago, so I don't know how to use it so well. But I do use Instagram regularly because, well, I think it's fun. I just like using it. But I think it's a great tool to show off your platform and also, kind of your brand, for lack of a better word, in how you're entering the pageant. So, especially during the pandemic, we can't all meet, during orientations, we can't all go out and show ourselves to the public. So a lot of what we do have is limited to online and social media. So, but I don't think that's a bad thing, because it's kind of fun to curate your content, and you can do little photo shoots or things like that. So so I think I enjoy using Instagram a lot, actually.
On Instagram, you become a role model for a lot of girls with your title, with your project. Do you like to be a role model for a lot of girls in the United States?
I think that comes with the platform, as you said, and it could be a lot of pressure, but I do, I didn't join this competition being blind to that. I think how I try to live my life is the best that I can, and the best way that I can influence other people. So, I'm actively involved in not only just my day job as a law clerk, helping victims of domestic violence and people who are, in very volatile family situations, but I also volunteer regularly with nonprofits, and that's really important to me. So I've always had this feeling that I need to be a good role model for other people and be a good influence on other people, because that's ultimately what attracts me and to what I'm doing is doing good for other people. And to do good for other people, you probably should be kind of a good person too and appear like a good person and making good decisions. So, and that's a huge part why, you know, like we were talking about earlier with Miss Earth USA, because I'm able to have this platform for something good and also possibly influence other people and young girls in pursuing things in life that make them happy and also do good for other people. That's the most important thing.
Do you think enter to Miss Earth United States impact your life and help you to become a better woman?
Yes, absolutely. I 100% believe that because of Miss Earth USA's huge emphasis on developing a project. I mean, it's not easy, you know, the requirement isn't just come up with a social media campaign or something like that. It's really not. I mean, you have to it's essentially telling you how to develop a business or a nonprofit or any kind of brand, where you have to come up with something that matters, that will engage other people, that matters to you personally. And then you have to find out a way to actually help a problem in the world. That's really hard. I mean, that's challenging, and that is really cool that they make you do that. I mean, you have to do that as part of the competition. And so 100% that's made me a better person. And I've learned hot spot.
We talk about the pageant can help you in your life. Do you think Miss Earth United States help to protect the planet?
Yes, absolutely. Well, yes, because Miss Earth USA, not only, you know, because it's not only that they're spreading awareness about these issues, but the fact that, you know, they have the Beauties for a Cause organization, and that enables all of us as contestants to form our, you know, Think Global Act Local projects. And in all of these projects, you know, we're required to do something to resolve some environmental issue in some way. And we do, you know, for example, with We Clean Trails, we're actively picking up trash. I mean, we're actively cleaning these areas and these spaces. And then, for example, with my project, the Oceana Project, I'm actively donating money to these organizations that are helping with wildlife and contaminated wildlife. And so it absolutely helps the environment, and in such a cool way too, because it enables us as contestants to be creative and think of, you know, okay, we're not all just going to clean this park this weekend, or we're not all going to donate to some organization, but we're going to come up with something that's personal to us. And it could be very different. You know, it could be hurricane relief, beach cleanups, forest fire issues, pollution issues. I mean, it's the whole spectrum of environmental issues that Miss Earth USA allows us to not only spread awareness about, but actually actively help in those, in aiding them. So that is 100%, that's the coolest part about it. And to answer your question, yes, it definitely does help environmental issues around the world.
What is for you your best asset to win the crown of Miss Earth United States?
I think my best asset is that I am very experienced in different areas in my life. So, you know, I have this legal education. So I'm able to look at issues from a legal perspective, from a very analytical perspective. But I'm also able to connect with people and with different causes, because I've had that experience with volunteering with nonprofits in all different areas of the world, literally to the Middle East to over here. And I've had so many different experiences as well. I'm an artist. Okay, we can start again. So
you talk about your best asset. You say me you have your legal study to understand a lot of administrative and the administration, the problem with the legal problem, and you say me, but I have a short answer, to be able to connect with others. Yes,
Yeah.
it's your best asset.
Yes. So, wait, so did you ask another question, or was there?
What is your best asset to win the crown of Miss Earth
Okay.
United?
I'll start over. Okay. Yeah, I think my best asset is that I have so much life experience. So I've had as I said before the internet went out, my legal studies. So I'm able to look at things from a very analytical perspective. I'm also able to connect with others because of my experiences with nonprofits throughout my life and currently as well. So I think that those abilities to think outside of the box a little bit, and my willingness to go for different things in life that are a little bit, might be challenging or intimidating. But I really, when I see something that I care about and I want to excel at, I go for it. And that's kind of what all of those experiences has taught me and enabled me to do, is just fine tune that skill of being able to, see a problem and try to come up with some creative solution to solve it. But at the same time, not just focusing on the problem, being able to see the bigger picture, I guess, and seeing that, that it is affecting other people and how it's affecting other people, and how I come in and try to actually help that problem, or make it better, make something better. So I think that, my life experience has enabled me to see that bigger picture and to not be afraid of taking on a challenge. Yeah, so my best memory actually is when in 2015, I went to Guatemala, in a very rural area. And I spent a month there filming a student documentary, which was really, really fun. And the whole experience was great, and I learned so much. But I think my best memory was when, at the end of the trip, we had spent a month knowing these different people, and there was a huge language barrier, but we had translators, and somehow we were able to connect with them on a very human level because of what we were doing. They were helping us film, we were helping them because we were bringing awareness to different issues that they faced there. And at the end of the trip, we had a screening for everybody, and we invited a lot of people, this little cafe. And the family that we were filming all week was able to come down, which was really nice, because where they lived, a lot of times they have buses that maybe run once a day, and it's like a 3-hour trip, down from where they are. I mean, it's a big deal to get out of their town. I mean, a lot of these towns don't even have schools there. So they were able to come down and view our film. And I remember at the end of it, they were crying, and they told us how thankful they were that we were able to do this for them. And that was a huge moment for me, because a lot of times, you're working on these projects and you think, that it's somehow helping them, but you're very, into the project, getting it done and making sure, it meets deadlines and things. So always having, in general, but especially that moment of having, the fact that they came all the way down there just to see it and just to thank us was a big deal. And it helped solidify really why I do it in general, why I do it now. It's those little moments where that's the reason you do it, is to help these people and know that you're helping them. It's not just some vanity project or whatever, it's that you really did, that you really did make a difference. So that was a really amazing experience. And I think that's what shaped and helped me and inspired me to keep doing those things.
If you win Miss Earth United States, how do you want to impact, to make changement in your country?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think starting with bringing more awareness, of course, because of this great platform that I would have, bringing awareness to environmental issues in general. I mean, there's a lot of them, there's a huge multitude of them, but I think being able to not only bring awareness to these issues, but then show how you can help help these issues essentially. And so, you know, my platform now is with offshore oil drilling and the damage that that has. So if I would win Miss Earth USA, I would concentrate on that aspect more so, is that, you know, the health of our oceans, the health of our beaches and our wildlife, because of contamination essentially by, you know, certain oil companies. That's what I would be very passionate about. But I also think that would be at the forefront. But of course, there's so many other environmental issues that, you know, with pollution and climate change and things that we still need to concentrate on as well. So I think it's important, you know, I would bring awareness to a lot of different things, but also make sure that this main issue with offshore oil drilling is paid attention to, is brought to the forefront, and that we are doing something to help it. So, you know, being involved in the process to help legislation, pass legislation or block legislation, and a more holistic approach. So you're going from the state level and the government level on down to actually getting hands-on and helping these animals and these wildlife that's affected. And I think that's really what it's all about, is your top to bottom help with environmental issues. It's not just about raising awareness. It's not just about going to your congressperson. It's not just about you know, getting volunteers on the ground, although that's a huge part of it. I think it involves those tiers, and then you can really make a difference.
I have interviewed a lot of candidates, and all candidates say me to become Miss Earth United States or Miss USA or Miss Earth is a full-time job. Do you think you have the time to have this crown?
No. I mean, so I'm very busy, but I'm always busy. And so that's the thing. Yes, it's a full-time job, and I can see that with Marissa because I see how much she works, and she has a regular day job, and then she also does Miss Earth, and she's traveling every weekend. But I don't think that honestly would be a problem. I mean, for me, if something's important, I make time for it. So, you know, of course, I take my job very seriously, but I would take Miss Earth USA very seriously as well. To me, I look at it as my job too. As you said, it's like a full-time job, and it is. But I do think when you prioritize whatever you prioritize in life, whether it's your day job or your family or your friends or your significant other, or whatever you're doing, you can find time for it. I found that I can find time for it. So, yeah, it would be busy, but I don't doubt that I'd be able to fulfill what I need to do well in the process, because I'm very passionate about it. And there's no way, you know, I would give something like that up because I thought it was too much work. There's no way.
Becoming Miss Earth is becoming a spokeswoman, a voice for the foundation of this organization. Which message do you want to pass? Do you want to inculcate if you win the crown of Miss Earth United States?
That's a good question. I would want to pass along the message that you shouldn't be scared to get out there and do what you need to do to make the change in whatever area that you're passionate about. So that's what I've learned, especially with Miss Earth USA, giving us the Think Global, Act Local projects. I mean, it's the same idea that if you feel passionate about something and it speaks to you personally, some issue in the world, whether it's environmental, humanitarian, whatever, you should not be afraid to just start. Just do it, start on it. You know, it might be difficult at first, it might be kind of awkward at first, but it's a really important skill to learn for yourself personally. But it's also really important in general, because that's how any of these organizations and any of these causes go anywhere, is that somebody felt passionately about them and they were able to go out and just do it. And so I think that's a huge source of confidence in yourself to be able to do that. And it also gives a big sense of confidence to other people, because when I see somebody like Marissa, to be honest, who is a Miss Earth USA title holder, she's a financial advisor, and she's gorgeous, and she's able to do all these things, and she has a nonprofit. when you see that and you see that she's able to do it well, that's what makes me believe I can do it as well. And so it's really great to have that. And that's what Miss Earth USA provides, is this spokesmodel, is this woman who's, look, she's done all of these things. She's doing all of these things that are for the greater good, and she's able to do it well. And so if she's able to do it, why can't I? I think that's really, that representation is extremely important. And I think that's the message I would really want to send all girls and all women, to be honest, because I think that always needs to be said, is that yes, you can do it. Look at me, I will help you as an example, and then I want you to then be my example. You know, I want to see everybody succeed. I want to see everybody do what they've always wanted to do in their life. That's important to me. And you know, it's a great sense of confidence for you, but more importantly, it's a great sense of confidence for people under you, girls who are younger than you. That's what they need. They need that representation. So that's the message I would bring, is that representation is, I can do it, you can do it too. Let's do it. Let's fix the world. Let's really do this. Let's really help these environmental causes, or humanitarian causes, whatever it is that you want to do, or just even getting the job that you want, you know, or having enough confidence to implement what you're passionate about in life, and just doing that. That's key for everything. So I am representing Alaska at large. So I'm not from Alaska. I'm from California. So I know a lot more about how Californians are helping the environment. I know that Alaska has little more conservative laws regarding the environment. You know, California is a lot more liberal and open to and actively legislates to actually help different sustainable methods. But I do think that in any place, in any state, to be honest, that we're going, it's always a spectrum. So there are states that have programs and they have laws that are already in place, you know, where there's mandatory recycling, or different things that you have to recycle, and things that you can't recycle, and things like that. So there's always a spectrum wherever we go in this country, depending on the state. And I think every state has a long way to go in terms of really pushing for sustainable solutions. And so I think that Alaska is no different. And I actually don't think that California is any different as well. I think California can have, you know, they do tend to lead in terms of, you know, being conscious of environmental causes and ways that we can actually help the environment. But with that being said, I do think that, yes, there's still so many different ways that we can go, and we can always improve. We can always improve, because, you know, there's always that struggle between big businesses and, you know, the economy, but then also trying to maybe slow down a little bit just to make sure that, you know, we have clean air and different things like that. So I do think that in every state, we still have some ways to go, but I do applaud how, you know, the greater public is becoming a lot more conscientious in terms of, yeah, let's maybe think a little bit more of what we can do to help our environment and how we live.
Excuse me. What are you looking forward to the most in January in Miss USA United States?
What am I looking forward to the most?
To the most, yes.
I'm looking forward to, honestly, meeting all the girls and seeing the work that they've put in. That's my favorite part of these pageants, actually, is meeting all of the girls and finding out who they are and what they do and why they're here. But I've already had a lot of fun looking at the different projects that they've been working on. And it's so interesting to see, because everyone comes up with a very different project and very different causes. That's really exciting to me. I love to see that, and I love to see the work that they've done, which I can see now, but, you know, being there and actually talking to them about what they have been doing for their projects, I think is honestly what I'm most excited for.
I have a hard question. It's a hard question, I know, but I want an answer. Who is your favorite Miss Earth?
I mean, I'm gonna have to say Lindsay Coffey, right? Because I have to. She's USA and she's gorgeous and she's done great for the different environmental causes and her ambassadorships. So I'm gonna go with Lindsay.
I'm so sad for Lindsay because she have she have a special reign during the pandemic.
Strong action. Like I said, I want to keep focusing and pushing for the offshore oil drilling bans. I think that would be a huge part of it. Now, coming from a legal background, I'm always thinking of it in terms of, okay, how can we change these laws? What are we going to do legally about it? So, and I think that a lot of times that's kind of overlooked. I think obviously it's extremely important to bring awareness and to have boots on the ground and things like that. That's probably number one. But I do think that I would push for, let's start bringing more awareness to these oil spills and the damage they cause. And let's start looking greater than just speaking about it and spreading awareness, but let's also make sure that we get involved perhaps politically. And if not, then at least informing the public about what laws there are in place and how they could maybe get involved politically and on the legislative level, because that's also very important. And how, to really see substantial change, you need to make sure that from the top down, we're seeing these laws being made.
Who is your model in life?
My model in life, I think, is actually my dad. So I know a lot of people say their mom, but my dad, I have such respect for him. I admire him a lot. We're very similar, so maybe that's why. Because I'm basically a version of him. But I love my dad. I have a lot of respect for him. He's a doctor. He lives life very much on his own terms, and he's not afraid to go after what he wants, and he's not afraid to inspire other people as well. He's always been a great leader in his work and in everything he does, in his hobbies and his relationships in life. He's always trying to set the example. I remember growing up, he always said to me that he was the first in at work and the last one out. And that's because he wanted to set an example. And he would tell me, no, I don't need to go in this early. I'm not getting paid because I'm going in early. I'm not getting paid more because I'm leaving later. But I need to be, if I'm leading these people, I need to make sure that they see somebody who's leading and somebody who inspires them. And I remember he would take calls from patients and coworkers on the weekends when he wasn't working, or at 8 o'clock at night, because he wanted to help them. He wanted to make sure that they were doing a good job. And so that has been my example growing up. And I think of my work in the same way. I want to do the best I can to help those around me and to make sure that if I am in a leadership position, I'm doing it well. And I'm making sure that not that just everyone is being taken care of, but they're being inspired to. They want to do their best. And when you do that, everyone succeeds.
When you won the crown of Miss Alaska Earth, what is the reaction of your father, of your dad?
He was really excited. So he's always been very supportive, and he always thinks that, I can do whatever I set my mind to. So he was really excited about that. I remember when I competed for Miss California USA, he was like, oh, you're going to win. Like, no question, you're going to win. Obviously that did not happen, not even close. But, he's just having his confidence in me. And I know that it's genuine, and it's not this overconfidence. It's just, yes, I know your skills, I know your abilities, and I have full faith in you. So it was the same with this title as well. And so it's great. It's really, there's nothing like having a supportive family. There really isn't. It really takes you so much further.
Your father is your best coach, your best cheerleader?
Yeah, I used to joke in the last pageant that he was my pageant mom. Like those like the dance moms and the dance mom shows,
Yeah, I know. I can watch this dance mom like, yeah. I am in the USA, but in France you have dance mom too.
Yes. Maybe a different kind, but yeah, same
It's the
kind.
same because it's only a translation of we have the speech is translated, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same show. And your father go to Orlando to support you during your page during Miss Earth pageant. I imagine you have a whole family go to Orlando. It's a great it's a great trip. Do you think if you don't win the crown of Miss Earth United States, do you think Miss Earth United States will be your last pageant, or do you want to compete in another system?
So I'm 27, so I would age out of at least the Miss division of Miss Earth USA. So I couldn't compete for Miss after that, but I have considered competing in the other divisions for Miss Earth USA, like the elite category, which I would be eligible for. And then I have considered competing in other systems because there are some that I think go to 30 or 29. So I wouldn't age out of those. But I think I just kind of take it as I go. You know, I'm not actively thinking about if I lose, then how do I win another one? I'm just trying to really, you know, do the best I can for Miss Earth USA. And I'm really enjoying the process. I know maybe that sounds cheesy, but I honestly just love the process. So as much as I am competing for the crown, I'm also enjoying just being here and honestly like having the privilege to even compete in Miss Earth USA and being able to meet all these wonderful people and help these different amazing environmental causes. That's important to me too. So I'm kind of just taking it day at a time and enjoying the process.
For the moment, concentrate on the national Indian Rally. It's your first goal. Win the crown of Miss Earth United States. It's a great goal. What is your ultimate dream in life?
My ultimate dream in life is actually to eventually start a law firm that focuses on women's issues. So I've been very vocal and active in participating in that. Of course, with my day job now, and as a lawyer, I will focus on that in different areas with domestic violence and restraining orders and things like that. But I do want to have a firm that kind of combines the nonprofit aspect of different firms where, you know, if you have a pro bono firm, they'll really focus on, you know, getting different information out there to help people for free. And then they also have, you know, then the private firms that are more focused on, you know, getting clients, making money and things like that. But I really want to start a firm that kind of combines both of them. So it's a resource for women to, you know, help them out of difficult situations, but it's all and takes on work pro bono, but it's also, you know, take you on as a client and help you with your legal issues in sort of a more traditional formal setting. But I think that would be my ultimate dream. That would be amazing. That's what I'm working for now. That's what I'm trying to learn and get experience for. And then, of course, besides from the professional setting, I would love to have a family one day and be happy. And my dream is to live on a big piece of land and have a bunch of animals and a bunch of kids and, you know, one day.
In the future.
Yeah.
We have the time.
Yeah.
If you could design a perfect planet, what could the planet look like?
A perfect planet. Well, a perfect planet would be where everybody and everything is in harmony. I think that's what perfect really is that everything comes together and works together towards life affirming and peaceful principles. So that could look like a lot of different things, but I think ultimately, you know, we don't have everywhere in the world equal rights, not even close to it. You know, we don't have everywhere in the world everyone's, very concerned about, or where every country is concerned about different environmental issues, different things affecting animals and wildlife. We don't have that everywhere. In fact, it's kind of a rarity, except for in certain circles, in the West and things like that. So, but a perfect world would have where all of these issues and these problems that we all know about not necessarily be resolved, but they would be, be made aware of by everybody, and everybody can somehow work in harmony and have these things at least actively trying to be resolved and working together. I don't know if that's ever possible, but that is what we're all working for, right? I mean, that is what starting a nonprofit is for, that's what drafting laws is for. I mean, we're all, I think ultimately everybody's goal is to have some kind of harmony or harmonious life, but to have the whole earth like that, that would ultimately have everybody working together, and for the greater good, of course, that would be perfect.
You can approach this perfect planet. No discrimination, no stereotype in the society. For me, it's the beginning of a perfect planet.
Right.
What is your guilty pleasure in life?
My guilty pleasure is definitely anything sweet. I have a huge sweet tooth. It's a big problem. But I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure because I'm not guilty about it. I just eat it. I do it anyway. I do it all the time. But sweet tooth, huge sweet tooth. Candy, pastries, anything sweet. Love it.
And are you a good chef?
I think I'm a pretty good chef. I don't know if I call myself a chef, more of a home cook. But yeah, I love to cook. And I try to do it as much as I can instead of eating out. But yes, I love to cook, and in particular Italian food. I love Italian food. I'm always eating Italian food.
And what is your best recipe?
I would say my best recipe, honestly, is probably a bolognese, a spaghetti with bolognese. I make a very good bolognese sauce, and I know how to combine the meats just right and have the little breadcrumbs in there and have a good marinara sauce on top of it. So I'm pretty proud of that.
What is your beauty secret?
Beauty secret, I would say good health. So I'm very active, and I actually don't do it to look good. I do it for my mental health. I find that it really helps just relax me, and it helps me center myself. Some people use yoga. I used to use yoga a lot, but being active, even just going for a walk or going for a hike, really helps me mentally. And I think, when you're mentally calm or at peace or at harmony with yourself, you tend to do everything a little bit better, a little healthier, and kind of just you're just at peace with yourself. And I think to be beautiful, it's really about, it's not necessarily that you look great or look pretty or something. I don't know. In my opinion, it's more about that you are who you are, and you feel good about who you are, and you feel not just confident, but you feel, you feel healthy, you feel at peace. You're not worried about, of course, that's really hard to do. We're all worry all the time. But, just as much at peace and in sync with yourself as possible.
When you are stressful, what do you do to have less stressful?
Well, a bad thing I do is I eat a lot of sweets. The good thing I do when I'm stressed is I try to go for, actually hikes really help. So being in nature, not just exercising at a gym, which is still helpful, but being in nature. And I find anytime I'm in nature, I feel way more relaxed. And, because it gives you a lot of perspective. You're not just active and moving and having the blood flowing, but it gives me a lot of perspective to see, animals and the trees and the weather. And there's, these things that you don't have control over, but you're in them and you're immersed in them and you see kind of the bigger picture, you know, that it's not just about this little stress brain that you have, but it's about the things outside of yourself. So I find that really helps. Ooh, I don't know if I have fans, but if I do, it would be wonderful if I did. But a message for my fans is going back to what we discussed earlier about, you know, what message I'd want to impart to people if I were to win Miss Earth USA, and that's to go for it, you know, be confident in yourself, go for the thing that you really want to do, whatever it is, a job, fixing a relationship with a loved one, anything, some sort of personal goal. Try to just start on it now, and you'll build confidence along the way. And I think that process, oh, can you hear me? Did I pause?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, okay, good. I think it kind of froze on me there. But yeah, I think just going for the thing that you want to do, whatever it is, personal goal, professional goal, just try it. And I found that builds confidence. You don't necessarily need to have confidence before you do something. It's a lot of the other way around. You do something and then you find, oh, I'm okay at this. And then you end up building confidence, and then it's great. So I would say be yourself, be true to yourself, and follow what you want to do, and do not be afraid of that.